solicitor and conveyancer.
Yes.
Now, I kind of do feel sorry for some of them, the conveyancers and solicitors. Like, what's the difference? Well, a solicitor is obviously a licensed legal professional, and a conveyancer specialises in that contract law, property contract law. So, for property transactions, all you really do need is a very experienced conveyancer on that front. But if they're a solicitor / conveyancer as well, it's best of both worlds. So
let's just talk about that elephant in the room. Solicitor, conveyancer. What's the difference? Like,
one's spent more time at university studying, but the experience, there was like a lot of solicitor companies, they have like a conveyancing section of their firm, and generally they have a conveyancer underneath them that does the legwork anyway.
So what does a conveyancer do, and what does a solicitor do? Well, what does a solicitor do that a conveyancer can't do, I should say, or ask?
Oh, geez, we should get a solicitor on, because I don't want to put words in their mouths.
Yeah,
but they generally do the same thing when it comes to a property transaction. It depends on their level of experience, and that's both solicitor and conveyancer, because they can put in, they know certain clauses that are important to put in a contract. And that's also with when you're doing deals as well. If you're doing it personally, you might, like one of the deals that we went through, there was a bit of time pressure that I put on the selling agent. And I did that in order to create that fear of loss of a potential purchase on this property. And we did a really fast transaction. It was over the weekend.
The settlement period was not...
The settlement period was really tight, but the initial...
My broker almost said... You can piss off, Mag. There's no way.
Yeah.
He's like, almost sent me to another broker. He wasn't happy, but we got a better deal because of it, so thanks.
Yeah, and the key clause in there was, basically the whole contract was null and void until a solicitor has looked over it.
Yeah.
And
so we had our ducks in a row.
So you get out clauses, and the agent had the seller that was just keen to move on it, and it was over the weekend, so we got that deal done, and that's another strategy for, I guess, another day.
Yeah, so many of them.
But it was really good, and we got an amazing price. I mean, we just obviously did a little comparable, and in 3 months, it's lifted $60,000. So.
Yeah, so
woo, that was good. Yeah,
absolutely nailed that one.
But yeah, difference between those two. It's just experience for me personally. I always say, similar to a mortgage broker, you want at least 4 years experience from that front. And it also depends on, what structure and what property you're purchasing. So having the experience in that that property type and that purchasing structure is really important. So you're interviewing them basically on your selection at that stage. And the reason why I'm saying, I do feel sorry for them sometimes is because they're often used as a reactionary service. So people go and find a property, they go to contract, and then they go, "Oh, I need a solicitor conveyancer." There's a couple that I work with that's obviously they specialise in that. So the turnaround time is really quick, and it's all digital, so it's fantastic. But I like to at least give them a bit of a heads up to say, "Hey, I'm looking to buy a property, just giving a heads up, this is, what I'm looking at." So they're kind of anticipating it's coming through.
You're in their client portal and they know,
And then when it does come through, they appreciate that you give them a heads up, so they're going to be more inclined to pick up your file and get it done if there is urgency on that front.
Yeah.
So that's why I say just reach out to and pick your solicitor and conveyancer so you can, act with speed.
I guess with the different regions and different states, it might be different who you might go with as well, right? I know that my property in WA, I just went with like a local there because I was told that that's probably the best way to go.
Yep.
But the other purchase, I went with I think they were specific to Queensland, or they have different people in their team that can do different areas. So why would you go with, I know the answer, but why would you go with somebody for a different area, for a different reason, for a different property?
Because they're doing the transactions in that state
with the laws
regularly. In the laws, they understand it. If you're getting your conveyancer who's based in Queensland to do your contract over at WA, they might miss certain state-based laws and clauses that they might not know about. So yeah, definitely try and find that, and that's also the hard part too. And when you're building out your team, having access to people who know where to point you in the right direction, if that makes sense, is really important. So yeah, conveyancers, solicitor, get them on your team, just give them a heads up, pick them before you pick your property.
Yeah.